Welcome, everyone, to the Wing and Wolf podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Mooney. So I'm dropping a new podcast interview to open up the 2026 season. I recorded this a few weeks ago during a hard season in my life, and you could feel it in the episode. I really did not want to film that day, but I said, Elizabeth, get back to what you do and just film. And when I look at it, I know my mind was somewhere else. I was trying so hard to get through it, and I love what I do. And I had a beautiful guest, my girl, Christy. So I just powered through it. And, I can see and feel it when I watch the podcast, but healing isn't linear. And neither is growth. So I'm grateful to be back, and we're always learning and growing, and I'm proud I showed up and did my thing. And I'll tell you this, I've learned so much. I've learned that through these processes, everyone says to me, Elizabeth, you're so intelligent and successful, but you have these relationships that you choose the wrong men. Well, it's not so much that, it's that we have journeys. And for me, it was this relationship that I finally realized that I am a conflict avoidant, which means when there's conflict and it's chaotic, I'm out. I leave. And it's not because I'm a runner. It's because I really do not like yelling. I don't like chaos. I don't like stress. But in the same token, I attract chaos, and I didn't realize that. So even though I would run from it, I chose it. Actually, my friend Brock, who's another beautiful person I interviewed on my podcast, he said, you didn't attract, you chose it. And I did, because I saw chaos growing up. So it's what I knew. So that is what I chose. But we're going to break that cycle. This is it. No more chaos, especially I'm getting too old for this. I want peace. I want stable. I want slow. I want it to flow like the river, like drinking a warm cup of milk. But, more than anything, this really put me back on track, and I'm really happy to share this podcast with you. It's the first one of the season, and I'm going to hit this hard. I have goals that I'm going to crush, and I'm not going to be distracted anymore. So let's rock and roll the new season 2026 Wing and Wolf podcast. Your host, Elizabeth Mooney. Welcome to Winged Wolf Podcast. This is the podcast where we're going to keep it real and raw. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty, talking about everything that everyone's so scared to say. We're going to bring them onto the table to interview them about religion, about politics, about eating organic, living off the grid, the masculine, the feminine, their needs, their wants, what is lacking in today's society, this dating world. How do we create that tribe mentality again to get our families back together, to protect our children? We are going to talk about everything. We're going to travel. We're going to have some fun on this show. So let's get to it. Wing and Wolf Podcast. Let's rock and roll. Your host, Elizabeth Mooney. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Wing and Wolf Podcast. We are back in 2026 with my friend Christy here. So got one of my ladies on the show. And it's been a great year, and hopefully even better 2026.
Yeah.
And this is sponsored, this show, by Etched Ink. You follow my girl Tina in Jersey for your tattoos. Etched Ink. So, Christy, how's everything? Thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Liz. I am really excited to be here and love seeing all that you do. And I think we've been connected since you moved down here.
Yeah. So we were connected, I would say like 5 years ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then Christy and I were talking because I was coming to open my studio, and then we were talking about ways to connect and collaborate.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we've connected and been going to events together.
Yeah.
So Christy is like Christy the connector. She really is. So all these different parties are connecting, and I think Christy's just a wonderful human being, and so talented and a great personality of just connecting people and inspiring people. So that's why I wanted you on the
Well,
show.
thank you. Thank you. And yeah, we're both in kind of the experience space. So,
Mm-hmm.
with like Nashville experiences that are offered to mostly people from out of town, both of
Right.
us and what we offer, have locals. But for the most part, we've had to kind of be in this tourism and travel space. So that's really how we connected was through different tour operator events and,
Mm-hmm.
kind of Nashville hospitality industry events.
Right, right.
So,
You
yeah,
want to tell everyone what you do?
sure. I own and operate a it's female owned. I have a business partner as well, but we're a photo shoot tour and it's called Photowalk Nashville. And we take people's pictures in Nashville. So
Mm-hmm.
we're like photographers, but also tour guides. So
Right.
just combining that concept of like two things in one, where you get those pictures, but then you also get shown around and that kind of walking tour experience. But we've been going now for 7 years. So
Wow,
yeah.
7 years. And
Mhm.
now how did the idea come about for you to start this?
Well, I was already a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 4 children. And when my youngest got a little bit bigger, he's probably like 3 or 4, I really started getting more serious about photography.
Mm-hmm.
And that led to a lot of different things. I thought I was going to really like and get into wedding photography. And I
Mm-hmm.
did. But then it was like, I felt like there was just something more for me with
Yeah.
photography. And then I started working with a lot of like influencers and bloggers. And so I would be out in the gulch taking people's pictures for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bloggers or influencers or just like a styled shoot or something.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did that, I saw that there was a lot of people coming into the gulch to take pictures.
Interesting. Okay.
And they were lining up at these murals, especially like the Wings mural in the gulch.
Right, right,
And I thought, what if like there's no one taking their pictures for them? What if I did that? But I didn't know how. And
right.
it wasn't until one night I was just dreaming of places to stay on Airbnb and looking at like Paris,
Mm-hmm.
and couldn't afford it at the time, but I was just dreaming. And when I did that, though, I saw that there was this thing called Airbnb experiences.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
and I saw a Parisian
And that's how we
photographer.
connected.
Yep. That
Mm-hmm.
I saw a Parisian photographer like taking this couple around, and it said like you could do that experience and book it right then to go on this photo shoot with a Parisian photographer. And I was like, what if that's available in Nashville? What if I could do
Yeah.
that here? And I just found an email at the bottom of the page, didn't know a soul at that company at that time. And I said, how do I do this in Nashville? And I got a real response. Somebody said, actually, we're launching it in Nashville in 2 weeks, Airbnb
Really?
experiences. Yeah. So I was one of the first
Excellent. Okay.
ones.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. So, and it's just so amazing of like, this is such a good story of how an idea, I feel like a lot of the times, this plant is like attached to me. A lot of the times it's like what creates a really successful entrepreneur is seeing what is missing.
Yeah.
So when you came and you saw like, okay, but no one's taken their picture. So then the idea started growing and brewing, and then
Hmm.
you saw the real life, you saw the
Hmm.
vision in real life in Paris, and then put it
Yep.
together. So that's so beautiful,
Yep.
inspiring. So you don't know if it's going to be
Yeah.
successful or not,
You don't.
but you have the idea and then you went for it. So it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And also just like going for it, like sending the email, like shoot your shot, because I didn't even have that much of confidence in myself that I'd get a response. But I was like, you know what? All they can say is no, or all I can do is just not respond. And so by sending that email, it changed my whole life.
Wow. So
Hmm.
now are you still the only company that does that?
We're the only company that like solely does that. So
Mm-hmm.
other photographers will offer like doing a bachelorette party photo shoot and things like that. But at this point, we're the only ones that just do it. So
Okay, that's great. Because that's what I'm
yeah,
seeing in Nashville. It's like, I feel like when I first got here, there wasn't much dance.
right.
Now there's dance
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
And I'm seeing that with everything. Party
Hmm.
buses. Now there's a million.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I feel like we're still the trailblazers for it, but I have
right.
seen, other photographers kind of do that and kind of copy the same format or whatever, and
Mhm.
that's fine. Like it's the
Yeah.
same, for one, there's so much. I feel like there's so much for all of us in general with the tourism industry
Right.
that, but I think that I'm going for is building something that's sustainable, that runs well, that's efficient, that's easy to book, and just thinking of it and running it differently. Like in the middle of kind of structuring the company, I realized I'm not really running a photography company. I'm running a tour business.
Right.
So I need to learn that. And so I started going to trade shows and listening to podcasts and joining different groups online that connected me to people in the tourism or experiences industry.
Yeah.
And so now it's like I don't really, I mean, I'm going to a photography conference this weekend, but I'm not really that much of like in the photography scene, because that's just a piece of what we do and what we offer.
Yeah.
You know,
it's more like that's like dance, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we're teaching and everything, but it's everything else. It's appealing to the bachelorette parties or the tourists coming in. So there's so many layers of it.
Yes.
And working with the third party sites.
Yep.
Which I have to get that website before we leave again.
Yeah.
Because we went on a meeting recently a couple months ago, and I get tips from Christy just saying, like, try this way of kind of in control of the tourism rather than all these third party sites that you can be, 4 a.m. and also you wake up and you have a booking for the next day.
Yeah. And it's a lot to navigate. It really is in our space. And also just realizing too that we're really the trailblazers. Like, this hasn't been done before on a digital scale. I mean, think about 10 years ago, people weren't really booking their things to do online so much as they are now.
Right. And a travel agent.
Yeah, travel. Yeah. Exactly. So we really are at the forefront of it. And
I never looked at it like that.
Yeah, it's a new industry of like travel through the digital space and digital planning, and also where the consumer themselves is doing their own, just like you said before, when we were growing up, how did you even book a plane ticket? I asked my parents that, I'm like, how did y'all book plane tickets? They're like, we had to go to the airport. Yeah. Like, or you had a travel agent, or you had to phone call.
Travel agent,
yeah. So it's changed.
Airbnb experience, they offer that, so it's not just renting Airbnbs to stay at. Now you could pick here pole dance, two-step line dance. So there's so many things.
So much, yeah, so much.
And through TripAdvisor. So now for 7 years you've had this company, and what else?
A lot has come from it. Well, first of all, our team here has expanded. So there's 5 of us here. And then we just grew to another city, which is Charleston, South Carolina. So now we just birthed Photowalk Charleston this last year. And
so now is your partner running that, or do you have somebody?
No, we've got someone who was on our team here. She moved to Charleston. And so it was like just perfect timing to already have somebody who knew our systems, are what we offer and all that, for her to just kind of start it down there. And so we're still handling like the marketing and the scheduling and all that, but she's operating down there.
Awesome.
So, and she's been doing an incredible job. So
what is your vision to expand in other cities?
Well, I kind of have a different mindset on that right now, of like, instead of just like, let's do this city and this city, I really want to hone in on what we've got and not try to take on too much too quickly, because I've learned, the pain points already. We did actually start in Scottsdale 3 years ago. So before Charleston, we did start in another city, and it's really hard to find people to work for you in a whole other city for something so niche.
Because I am really looking to take my brand to Tampa.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's like, how do I really do that to find that person that knows the system, how it runs, and run it there?
And run it. Yeah.
So, I can see that.
Yeah, it's a lot. So scaling.
Got very lucky with her knowing the system and then going there.
Right. So in Scottsdale, that was kind of the reason why we ended up only having it for a year, was just because it was hard to keep and retain the right. And with what we do too, a lot of it is contractors, it's 1099 work. And so it's not like, hey, I can offer you a full-time job with benefits. It's not like that.
Right.
It's what we're looking for is people, kind of the gig-based economy, where it's
Yeah.
people who have a lot of different things going and they can pick up these gigs with us,
Yeah. Make extra money.
Right. So it really has to be definitely that kind of narrows the pool down to a lot smaller group of people that would even be available for it. And then they have to have the vibe. For us, it's always the vibe check first. Like, do they pass the vibe of
happy, welcoming, warm,
yes,
inviting, excited,
yes,
passionate about what they're talking about.
And then they have to have the technical skills, just like I'm sure with your team. They've got to have the skills to be able to.
That's why I've had the same 3 instructors for all these years.
That's awesome that you've retained them. That's incredible.
So when you have a good team, that really is the driving force of your vision.
Absolutely.
So now, what else have you done that leads you to today? So any other business ideas?
Well, so I acquired another company called Goto Nashville. So that's kind of my other baby, is the Goto Nashville brand. And it is like a rec page, so recommendations for all things Nashville. And it's social media on Instagram and TikTok. But then we just opened up a website to it. And so it's been a process of figuring out exactly what that website is, what's on it. But at this point, we are pulling inventory from Viator, which you're on, right? Yeah. So actually, you're on Goto Nashville. I don't know if your experiences.
I had a feeling when you were talking, like, I think we're on it.
Yeah, you're on it because we can pull that inventory. So they have like an affiliate program where you can.
So awesome.
So figuring out that space has been a new landscape as well. And so really we're reselling, other tours, activities, excursions in Nashville. And, that's been a whole new space. And then to like advertise through social media, like showing those things, and just in general too, of like why you should come to Nashville. And then if you're a local, things to do here, new restaurants, all that good stuff beyond. But
the go-to
spot to
learn everything. That's great.
So I'm trying, becoming like I want to be like the go-to girl. So like you can look at our page and see like, hey, where's the new cool restaurant opening? Or
and Christy really is like that. You should follow her on her TikTok and all her videos too, because she has this business geared to tourism, and now the go-to now. So all these different, but also you have events and get-togethers and Chrissy really brings people together, different businesses, owners, to just talk about and meet each other and network. So there's so many layers of what you bring, which is so beautiful.
Thank you. Through I've kind of joined up with Airbnb experiences and with Tourpreneur. And for both of those, I'm kind of like the Nashville facilitator.
Great.
So doing events for them. And so that's how, since you're in like both of those groups, it's like, all of those, we want you there. And it is like every time we kind of meet new people. And, I love like getting to meet people who are like things that I wouldn't even, or didn't even know existed in Nashville, like electric bike tours, like that sort of thing. And,
and it's interesting to meet the people behind these, creative, innovative ideas. And there's so many, because Nashville it's booming with tourism. Like it just keeps on getting bigger and bigger. So I feel like it's a city where creativity, you get to play.
Yeah, you do get to play. And people want that when they come here.
Yeah.
They want to experience what we're building here. And so I feel like, what we both have is offering that. Like we're keeping this ecosystem alive by bringing to the table what we are. And by offering incoming guests unique and fun things to do. And also what we both do brings people together. Like you're making a memory. You're experiencing something with the people that you love. Hopefully you've come here with the people that you actually want to be with. And you made a memory, whether you're dancing or doing a photo shoot. Like you're getting to, it's that moment where people are off their phones. They're connecting, they're engaging with each other, they're maybe learning something new, or they're, exploring, and it's making those core memories,
And I feel like it gives them a chance to do something maybe they won't do at home.
True. Very true.
I have a lot of people come in that they've always wanted to learn how to dance.
Yep.
And then they finally do it because they're on vacation.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's always wanted to dance, my wife, so I figured I'll book this for us.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden they're like, wow.
Yeah.
This was amazing. And then they're going home to try to find places to dance. So yeah, no, that's wonderful. And now, where you were born in Tennessee?
Well, so I was actually born in Alabama, so which is funny. I know, it's like, dang it, I wish I could say I was born in Tennessee, but I was born in Fort Rucker, Alabama, and then my dad was in the military, and so they moved around when I was younger. But my mom's family, my parents met at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, right outside of Clarksville, Tennessee. So right on the Kentucky-Tennessee border. And so my grandparents were always lived in Clarksville. And so even when we were moving around before I was like 12, we would always come back here. And even being right here where we're at, I have memories here as a kid. This used to be an outlet mall. And my mom would take me school shopping right here.
Really?
Yes. Literally right here.
Wow.
So, and then we go to Opryland, USA, the theme park, which was
the mall
where the mall is now. Yeah. But it was like Disneyland.
That's what I hear. It's so interesting, the stories. And and then before time, it was farmland. Yeah.
But yeah, I wish they'd bring Opryland USA back, because it was like the greatest place on earth. It was so much fun. Like my whole youth, like all my teenage years. I mean, just every summer we just lived there. How long ago
did they get rid of it?
1997 it closed. Yes, sadly. I'm still mad about it. I'm still salty. I don't forgive them.
It's right here by the Opry and the mall.
Hopefully, I'm still prayers that they'll bring it back one day, because it was incredible. But yeah, it was right here. And the hotel, has always been there too. But there was even a Cracker Barrel right over here too. And I remember,
it's still there.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's still here. Yeah. I remember going to that Cracker Barrel when I was a little kid, and the whole cast of Hee Haw, which was a show you remember that? It was like the SNL, but like for country music.
I learned of it living here.
Oh, okay.
Everyone, all the musicians around here, they talk about it.
It was iconic. It was incredible. But the whole cast walked in to that Cracker Barrel right there. And I just remember as a little girl being like, oh my gosh, I was starstruck, and I asked them all for their autograph on the back of the Cracker Barrel menu. So I feel like I'm pretty, like, even though I wasn't born here, I'm still pretty solid of like being
here. So that's good too.
Yeah.
So now for people, if they want to book a tour or the Goto, can you tell them all the information on social media where they can find you?
Absolutely. So Photowalk Nashville and Photowalk Charleston. Charleston's a great city too to go visit. So highly recommend.
My friend just moved there and
really?
She loves it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's incredible.
I love the cobblestone streets.
Yeah, it's so historic, so just charming and beautiful, sitting on the waterfront. So if you go to Charleston, photowalkcharleston.com. If you're in Nashville or coming to Nashville, photowalknashville.com is our website. And on Instagram and TikTok, Photowalk Nashville, Photowalk Charleston. And then go to Nashville, GOTO Nashville, is go-to-nashville.com. And then Christy the Connector. Follow me at on my Instagram and TikTok at Christy the Connector.
Yeah, Christy posts great videos too. So
thank you.
And good tips of just like, I feel like places you visit and your review kind of it. So definitely follow Christy to get ideas of where to go and what's good in Nashville. And so again, why I invited Christy on is because she is an aspiring woman that I wanted this to be not about relationships or life and what we learn, but a very inspiring, motivating podcast to start 2026 with. So to end the interview, what will be your advice for men or women who have ideas, want to start a business, what you've learned, the bumps in the road and the triumphs of getting over them?
That's a great question. Starting a business is, I don't think there was ever a moment where I was like, I'm going to start a business. It just kind of happened naturally. So I think that if someone was in that position, I would tell them to, like, first of all, get really good at your craft, like practice it and know it, and then figure out, who your audience is, who's your demographic, and then figure out the side of it of like distribution. How do you get people, whatever that is, if it's selling t-shirts, if it's offering dance classes, like how are you gonna, how are your ideal clients going to book you? And then marketing, really learn marketing as much as you can, and find one space in it that you're really good at and that you like doing. It shouldn't feel like a task and like a drag to market and share what you do, because ultimately you need to love it. You need to really be passionate about it.
They're going to know about it.
Yeah.
For it to be successful is to
market, or else you're paying somebody else a lot of money to do it. So, and that's fine too, if that's the route you want to take. But I feel like nowadays, like there's so much that we have at our fingertips with technology wise. So, I mean, just staying, no matter what industry you're in, like staying current with technology is very key, and AI is changing a lot of things. So,
And that's true. AI is like, I never used it until my friend is like sending me stuff, and I'm like, this is really good. And she's like, yeah, she's like, they found out it's like 97% accurate, and you can ask anything.
Wow.
So it could help with anything.
Right.
So basically, you have a vision, stay the course, but master your craft, know how to market and appeal, and be courageous, right?
Shoot your shot. Go after it. And I think too, just when you have that thing that's in your heart, or when it's just kind of deep in your gut, like you're supposed to do it, like it might take time, it might be a whole process, but like just stay the course, and don't give up. Don't give up. I've had a lot of no's.
You will navigate problems. So for me, so Christy and I spoke, we connected, and then I went to the Nashville, it was the Visitors Association, and then also the Nashville Entrepreneurs. So I was being connected with different people, building my connections. And when I came here, I was first opening the studio as if I was operating the same as I was up north. So that was dance and fitness, inspiring others to, confidence. And after a few months, like 4, there was no one. Like I would be dancing, everything. No one around here really cared to eat healthy, work out. They really were just drinking, smoking cigarettes, and eating fried food. So I was more, this isn't working. So then it was where the tourism was secondary. I made it primary. So I flipped it. And then it was the bachelorette parties, and Airbnb experience, Viator, everything. Then that is what sustained us. And what rose it, And so when you do have a bump, it's not always a no, but a redirection to what does work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you do have to vamp it up sometimes too. So now I have a bunch of competitors where in the beginning I didn't. So now what makes you different?
Right.
So now I have the training since 2 years old from New York, where most don't. And I offer not just pole dance. I'm not just a pole dance studio. I'm not just a line dance. I offer different, and even I have a new men's experience.
Oh, fun.
So I've noticed a lot more men want to learn how to dance. But I've had a couple men ask me if I could teach them how to give a lap dance.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, okay. Yeah. I was like, this is actually fun. So then I came up with the experience of like men come in as a bachelor party. And they learn how to give a lap dance.
That's so fun. And we've had men like bachelor groups too do Photowalk. And wear like matching t-shirts and outfits. And they're just like coming in on a bachelor party and doing that, like the bachelorettes. So Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah. And as different trends like that start happening, I think to your point about shifting the dynamic and like because people are asking you that, it's like, hey, yeah, we could actually make that a new product. We can make that a new experience.
Yeah.
And not being like, well, this is all we do and that's all we'll ever do. But like, yeah, that's a new trend that's happening. We're seeing it. So let's figure this out. And
Right.
yeah, being
Open
adaptable.
to navigation and adaptable. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Any other closing notes or
No,
points or
yeah, I mean, I can talk forever. I love to talk about this kind of stuff. I just think that, I think it's so cool that as women in this industry, when I go to a lot of the tourism conferences and stuff, it's a lot of men, when I think from the last like 20 to 30 years, when you think of a tour guide, like it's kind of an older man in his like 50s 60s, who's kind of giving a lot of information, and that was like the concept of somebody in the tourism industry.
right.
And now there's like this surge of women coming up in the industry, and we are figuring out the landscape of it, and we're bringing things to the table that are really unique and different and thoughtful experiences, and there's like a deeper reason for why we do what we do.
Right.
And so it's kind of opening that up to where it's not such a male dominated industry. It still is, like when you go to a lot of the things that you and I go to,
Yeah.
there's still mostly men that run these companies. But I think it's cool that here in Nashville we're kind of leading the charge.
And
like,
I love how you step back and look at everything as a whole. So you see the trends, what's going on, you evaluate what is the trajectory of the path forward in this field.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's very good.
And it's going to, change. It's changed a lot since I started, even just like 7 years ago, it was right at that boom of the whole bachelorette party craze that happened in Nashville. Well, now, I mean, it's definitely, I think you can attest to it too. We're not seeing near the amount of bachelorette parties that we used to.
Right.
So,
right. And it's funny because I always get my stats from the companies I work with.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is interesting. I asked them questions with it. She's like, well, everything's the same here, here, here. But yeah, I could just see in general.
Right. In general, just you can go down to Broadway and see there's not near as many like packs of them as there used to be. So, just kind of zooming back and following, I read a lot of like travel articles and just, updates on travel trends worldwide, but then also seeing like, keeping my eye real close on Nashville of like, why are people coming here? What are they doing? What are they,
See, that's what I'm saying. It's very good that you do that.
Yeah. And staying in tune with that is really key, because, what if in 5 years people don't want to do pictures? What if, what if they don't? What can we do? What are they going to want to be doing? Hopefully they will. Hopefully photos and dance will always be something that is a part of the Nashville culture.
Right.
But, we got to stay flexible, and we got to stay in it and aware of what's happening.
Right. So it's great that you do the assessment on the outside to see the trends, where it's going. And then that also gives you like, okay, let me add this and see if this works. Just stay with the trend and offer something a little different.
Yeah.
So, and that really applies to everything and anything, you have a business and things get slow or they're not picking up. Okay, just switch something instead of being like, it's not working.
Right. Yep. Yep. Just pivoting. Yeah. That's how we grow. Like if we just stayed the same, we're not growing.
Yeah. So you know where to see Christy, where to find her, and I think you gave great pointers.
Thank you. Well, it's great talking to you, Liz.
Yeah, I love this. You're so fun. I'm so happy. I'm like, I love it also that I love people that come in who hold themselves very well and bring optimism and positivity. So I think that's just so beautiful.
Well, thank you.
So you're a blessing.
Oh.
So Wing and Will Podcast, thank you for watching, and check us next time. Elizabeth Mooney.
Your host, Elizabeth Mooney.
Winged Wolf.